Welcome to the 3 Cs of Social Emotional Learning podcast. I'm Glenn W. Hunter, Board Chair of Touchstone Youth Resource Services. It's a nonprofit organization in Nashville, Tennessee, and we focus on bringing local communities social emotional learning skills and programs so that we can equip local youth with emotional tools to manage harsh and destructive influences in their world. The result is to contribute to building stronger, more functional communities that feature respect and personal development where they live. And we also have our true subject matter expert, Shor, Denny, CEO of Community Now, out of the Inland Empire in California.
Hi. Community Now is a great SEL program that works with youth grades 3rd through 8th, and we do programming activities on a campus that promote positive campus and coping and problem solving skills for our youth.
So as you think about what Community Now does, and obviously the overlap with Touchstone Youth Resource Services, it now gets us to the question, and we're going to continue to explore this question over the time with the podcast. So to get us started, sure, where do we find our morals?
Well, I think that the first place that you're going to learn your morals is going to be in the family. From the time that you're born, you're being taught by your family, your sister, your brothers, your cousins, the way that is acceptable within the household, things, general rules that you're going to have to live by, and those basically turn out to be our morals.
So when you start thinking about our morals, and they're coming from families, when you think about what really starts a family in its moral journey? I mean, where do they come from? Where are they birthed in a family environment?
Well, that would be community. The community would start as far as teaching different acceptability, things that you're able to do within the society to interact would be the morals, right? So in society, our moral would be don't steal. That's a society rule or moral that is also taught in the household. And the household kind of gets it from the community because, you'd be unlawful or have a chance of going to jail if you don't follow that moral rule.
So, I mean, when we're thinking about, stealing or harming someone like that, you're pretty much in the middle of, your morality. I mean, that's pretty much easy to say that's right, that's wrong. But what happens when you start getting into different shades of gray of what's right or wrong? What do you see with your children, or the ones that you work with, when they're having a hard time deciding what kind of decisions they're going to make and whether they're right or wrong?
That's a lot. So with the family, again, they're going to teach morals, but there are other ways for our youth to learn morals. And one of those is to do school site programs that are going to give the students activities and different programs and projects that they can do to learn how to interact within society and the do's and don'ts, to be happy and to be able to relate within the community.
Okay. So you go to the family, you get the do's and don'ts, you make decisions, kids are out there, and sometimes they're making bad decisions. Can you give us an example in your work where kids just repeatedly make bad decisions and you're trying to help them basically operate under better morals?
The first thing that you're going to do is show them their own value, right? Our youth have to understand that they have value, that their words have value. And when you teach them that kind of comes outward. So with social emotional learning, our goal is going to be to show them the best them and how to be the best them through coping skills, problem solving, teaching them leadership so that they're not following. And with that, they learn that their choices have consequences, or that there are challenges that if they choose the wrong path, something is going to happen in a negative way. And that way, at an early age, they can learn by problem solving, critical thinking that is being taught to them how to move in society, how to make decisions, better decisions. Even though your friend's going to choose something that's negative, you still know the value of yourself and you choose something on a more positive way.
Okay. So here in the Inland Empire, I mean, it's not exactly Los Angeles, but there's still some big city elements. I mean, when you look at the Inland Empire as a marketplace, there's a couple of million folks who are here, primarily Riverside County, San Bernardino County. What are some of the big city challenges that you see? Things you would think that are definitely part of an urban area, as you see our young folks making bad decisions, and you're trying to help them make better decisions.
Well, the media would be a way that a real outside influence is coming in, even into the home. And media, we've seen, has had some very questionable morals in it, and can actually show our children or give them an ideal of a path that they can take that's not even really realistic in the real world. So a big city problem to me would be seeing the falsities of how on media these big city people are living. That would be just to name something, just say BET. When the videos, so we have a lot of our kids aspiring to be the dancers or to be the rapper, because they're showing a lifestyle, a set of morals that are different than the morals usually that are coming from the home. And that would be the big city influence that we would see, and how to show them that that's just TV. That's not how we actually live.
Okay. So when you're dealing with them, how do you convince them that that's not reality? I mean, it's called a reality show, but you say it's not. It's just TV. How do you communicate to them that that's not a good aspiration for those negative behaviors?
Again, through social emotional learning and through trauma-informed care, what we're doing is we're showing our youth their value. So they understand that they have more things that they can strive for, that they know that they have different abilities, and that they have a community and others around them to help them build this other world. When we do some of the activities, we have one that the youth are an actor, and we have these signs, and it says like ADHD or poor or the rich kid, and we ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And this is in elementary school, and the youth will say, I want to be a doctor, and the label that they have says that they are poor. So then we have the other youth in the class come up to them and tell them why they can't be based on the label. Right. So what we're talking about is, how do you label someone, and are you going to give yourself to that label? Right. So just because it says poor and the child says, I want to be a doctor, the kids are like, you're not going to be able to afford it. What are you going to do? And come up. So that child has to start coming up with, wait, no, I can afford it because I can do this. So we give them options. We give them ability to have choices, but also the ability to know that those choices have consequences.
Okay. So, as you're interacting with the students, what type of activities do you have that point directly to them having a much stronger moral foundation?
I would start with what it's called, it's my choice. I choose. It's my choice. I choose, and it's my destiny. I choose. And with that, we're taking them through the fact that no matter what's going on in your household, no matter what's going on in the playground, that you choose, that you have the value of the choices, and that you, again, have the accountability of those choices. So some kids don't know that they have choices. They think that they have to live in the world that they're in, or they have to move with the people that are around them. And what we enlighten these third graders and fourth graders and fifth graders with programs like, or activities like stepping stones, or an activity flip that flop. So when you make a mistake or you think you failed, everybody fails. So, so don't think that, oh, I cannot achieve because I've had a failure. Flip it. So write down something that you failed at, and then now let's see how you can achieve it, right? Because if you've just made a mistake, we all have, and one step in reviewing it, you see where you made the mistake. Don't make that one again. Move forward. So the goal is to show them their power. The goal of social emotional learning is to show them literally how to interact with each other in a positive manner, so that we all can achieve our goals.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I think when you start thinking about how our children are always getting so many influences from so many different directions, and you're still able to get through to them to show improvement in their behavior and their life choices. Can you think of one example recently of a young person that really owned their improvement because of some of the tools you gave them to make better moral choices?
A lot of our youth are lonely. A lot of our youth are looking for friends. One of the youth that I can think of, and she's in middle school, and she's actually not in my program right now, but she was in it 2 years ago, and she came to our year-end event. And what she said was that she valued the program because it gave her a way to have a voice. It gave her a chance to meet people in a kind way, to get kindness back. And that she said that it's the connection, that when I was able to have a voice and connect with someone in a positive way, that person connected in a positive way with someone and connected. And she, as a middle schooler, saw the value of spreading the positivity and connecting. So I would think that would be.
So in that case, the positivity truly became contagious.
Yes.
As it spread throughout some of her peers.
Yes, definitely.
Wow, that's pretty amazing, because I think we're often quick to paint children with a brush that says they're followers. They receive input and then they mirror that input. They will follow that example. But you're saying that with proper education, with proper programming, you can actually get kids to really start asserting their leadership skills and showing that, no, I can discern between right and wrong and literally impact my community in a positive way.
Yes, we're saying that it's all children, that every child wants to aspire, every child wants to succeed, every child has it within them. It's showing them that they have the choice and giving them a path to where they can lead. In schools, we see a lot of times our kids are told, shut up, sit down, walk in this line, don't, cut, don't, but we're not asking them to express, right? We're not asking them emotionally, how do you feel? We're not even asking for their buy-in. We're simply treating them like robots. And as my mother said, basically be seen and not heard.
So Shor, one of the sayings that you like to use is flip that flop. What does that mean when you're trying to communicate moral lessons to the youth that you're working with?
Well, it means that you can always do better. You can improve. That having a mistake or a failure does not mean it's the end. It doesn't mean that you're worthless or that there's just nowhere that you can go from that you can recover, that there's always something you can do. Moralities are something that our community teaches us, our family teaches us, but it's really something that resounds in our spirits. And if you know that you're doing something wrong or see something that's being done wrong around you, then you can basically feel that something is going on with your moral compass. And how are you going to deal with that? And we just show them how to do that at 3rd grade.
That's amazing. I mean, being able to put those skills in at such a young age and let them own that, I think, really bodes well for the development of the young people that you have a chance to interact with.
Yes.
I think we covered a lot of good territory today, and again, this is just the beginning. But as we start looking at the impact that you're able to have and other SEL programs are able to have, and able to communicate to our youth, helping them understand that there are good moral decisions and bad moral decisions, and that they actually impact their community, I think is an important way for us building stronger community, stronger young people, and really having a better quality of life in the communities where we live.
Yes.
So I want to acknowledge that impact that you're having, and I can't wait for us to talk more deeply on some of the other aspects of social emotional learning.
Thank you.
All right. So this is Shor. This is Glenn, and it's 3 Cs of social emotional learning, and we're looking forward to talking to you again soon.